and then give Tyler his precious silence.
Yeah, and actually give me silence this time rather than just talking for like 2 minutes straight after saying, I'm going to give you silence, and then saying, oh, that's enough silence.
Well, you know what? It's not my fault we're chatty, okay?
I just won't say anything then. I'll just sit here and pout.
I don't know what you want from us, Tyler. You want us to be funny? Or you want us to sit here in silence for 30 minutes? 'Cause I'll do it.
Jay, that'd be a really interesting podcast, but I'm not sure if it'll really make to the podcast.
It'll be just me and Dan talking for like...
You know what? It'll be
minutes.
It'll be you and Dan talking for like 30 minutes, and then I will just scream at the top of my lungs the instant 30 minutes ends. just complete ear rape. Just awful.
That's the second half of the podcast. We just loop it. So it's just 30 minutes
screaming non-stop for the rest of the 20 minutes.
You just do.
Sup, my dudes?
This is the worst intro ever.
No, you want the worst intro ever? It goes a little something like, dab on the haters. If the haters dab back, give them a smack. Honey smacks.
I was up with you until that point, and then you just kind of lost me.
This is my formal resignation from the podcast.
It's fine. I've got replacements.
You got Dan's for days.
Yeah, I got Dan's for days. And Tyler. We promise. Tyler's here. Exactly. We're recording this the minute after we said we'd get Tyler on the podcast.
Yes. Literally. Yeah. Also, Dan's for days is a way better name for a podcast.
Shit.
Change it. Roll them all back.
Yeah, roll it back. We're starting over.
Call us Final Fantasy 14. We're rebooting the universe lore.
Oh, God. But, but anyway, we got some guests on. You know them. You love them. It's Tyler, and it's Dan. Other Dan.
Hey.
Yep. Yeah, but anyway, so we have important things to talk about.
Yes.
Very important.
Very punctual, very on-time discussions about anime that are relevant now.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, we might get to some. There's one that...
there is one. I've been watching two anime this season that
I haven't been watching anything new. I meant there's one that you, me, Tyler, all need to talk about. Traub, you gotta watch this show. We'll convince you.
Oh, has he not watched it? Has he not watched it?
I've really been watching a lot of anime this season, so I was going to listen to what you guys had to say and maybe get some recommendations for new stuff.
All right.
Yeah. Well, this one's from last season.
Yeah.
That's fine. I haven't watched anything from
and
the
it's
last
so good.
It's very, very good.
It's so good.
Yeah. But anyway, so the one we're talking about, we promised we'd talk about it. Hinamatsuri.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
It's a good show. It's kind of like the darling of that season.
Yeah.
It was definitely my favorite of the new things that aired. Like my favorite non-continuing anime.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's fair. Because were you watching Steingate Zero then too?
Oh, I haven't yet. I need to.
It's good.
I kind of want to wait for it to all come out and just binge it because I feel like I'm going to have the hardest time like just surviving week to week.
Yeah, I just got to the mid-season break in it, so I'm even like waiting an extra week, and it's like, man, I'm just like jonesing. Trav, did you watch Steins Gate? Or I know Trey, you did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the one who made you watch Steins Gate, so I hope I didn't.
Yeah. But anyway, have you seen it, Trav? Or?
No, but I've heard a little bit about it. I've heard like on.
You should watch it.
Oh yeah. You should watch Steins Gate, Trav. You would love Steins Gate.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It is among my top 5.
That is
anime.
like if you come away with nothing except for one thing after this podcast, go watch Steins Gate. You won't regret it.
Okie dokie.
Especially if you liked what was that one other time travel show that you really liked?
Erased maybe?
Yeah, Erased. Yeah, if you like Erased, then if you like the Erased, then you would like Steins Gate.
It's definitely different, but
it's different. It's not the same. Yeah. It's not the same, but it kind of tonally is similar in some ways.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see the similarities.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Actually, while we briefly mentioned Erased, I know now I'm just putting off Hinamatsuri. But did anybody watch the live action?
It's already been 3 weeks.
Yeah, right.
Shut up! It has been a day.
I was gonna say I can edit that out.
Ruining the
though. The illusion is gone. Rip.
Yep. But yeah, has anybody seen the live action Erased?
No.
No, I heard decent things.
I probably won't watch it. 'Cause I refuse to watch live action anime adaptations.
I watched it and it made me realize that I might not have actually seen the end of the anime.
Really? No, okay, the end of the anime is different. Yeah. Okay. The end of the anime, they made up the end of the anime is different than the end of the manga or the original series.
Okay.
Or the live series, I mean. Yeah. No.
So is the live series, do you happen to know, does that follow more with the original?
Yeah, I think the live action series is the manga ending.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the anime ending, I won't say too much if anybody hasn't watched Erased yet. You should.
Yeah.
But I think all four of us have.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Yeah. So everything that happened in the last episode of the Erased anime was kind of like a rushed hack job of an ending.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people really didn't like it, apparently.
Oh man, rush hack job of an ending. I've never seen that the last season.
Or yeah, I've never seen that from A1 Pictures.
So, I've never seen that. Studio Trigger!
I also suffered
I got something stuck in my throat. A1 Pictures.
I made the mistake of watching that before I listened to the last episode of this podcast.
Did you finish it? Did you finish it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, no!
As soon as, things started happening towards the end, I was like, wait a second. And I actually found it more humorous than anything else.
I couldn't stop laughing. But I was like, it's like the kind of laughing where you're, crying at the same time because, man...
when they revealed that alien race thing, I was just like, are you serious?
We're the verm. No, stop. Trigger, no, put it away.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh my god, that anime fucking sucks. Don't watch that anime.
No. I mean...
Or if you do, just assume they all die after episode 15.
No, it was actually pretty good up until that point.
No, episode 15 is one of the best episodes I've seen in a long time. That is, everything up to episode 15 is amazing. And that must be when A1 Pictures just pieced out, because then the rest is just a Trigger nightmare.
Yeah.
Just triggered it up.
Yeah. This has everything to do with Hinamatsuri, by the way.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, no, this is,
very about leading us on tangents to now 2 different anime before we even get to it.
Anyway, Hinamatsuri is a good show about cute girls getting raised by mafia men.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, okay, no. So, Traub, here's the elevator pitch I can give you. So, you've seen Mob Psycho 100, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Mob Psycho 100 is a little girl who likes ikura, whatever, fish eggs, salmon eggs, but she gets raised by a mafioso. She makes best friends with a junior high student who becomes a bartender, and then another girl comes to find her who starts becoming homeless, but then works for a Chinese family. And then there's a fourth one who's stranded on an island.
If you're wondering if that sounds aimless, yes.
It is a bit.
But it's also fantastic.
I was with you until about halfway through, then I got a little lost.
It has very little little direction, but it's also amazing.
Honestly, one thing I kind of like about the series is after the first 2 episodes, it kind of splits into little half-episode mini-stories where you get a focus on usually 2 different characters and just kind of funny, fun little parts of their life. And it's because it allowed them to really tell cool little miniature stories, and they all felt worth it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's my the show has a lot of heart. I think that's probably why I enjoyed it so much. Except for with the exception of maybe Hina, every character has these really heartfelt moments.
That's true. I actually found
Hina's just kind of terrible the whole show, but it's fantastic.
Hina was kind of my least favorite part of the show, but I kind of dealt with it just because
Hina, but just because
love the other characters. I liked some of the interactions between people and Hina.
Yeah.
But I wasn't as invested in the little mini arcs that were revolved around Hina.
Mm-hmm.
She did show, I guess, a little bit of growth maybe towards the end.
Yeah, at the very end, it seemed like she got a little bit. But I think, I don't know, I just like the fact that she just remains terrible almost the entire series. Like, she's just an awful...
Like, yeah.
Her dad, what's his name?
Oh goodness, I forgot.
Yeah, blonde mafia man. He I just love all the interactions where he just regrets being a dad.
Nita.
Nita. It's just great. I love that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's also really funny. I don't think it's the funniest show I've ever seen, but it is funny.
Yeah, so I've kind of can say with that, when I first started watching it, you guys kind of told me how funny of a show it was, and then the first couple episodes, it's really not.
No,
but
it's
I like not that. Really until the third episode. The first two episodes kind of just set things up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a slow burn, and I really, really like that in like a comedy, and that's why I think you might like it as a comedy too, Traub. It's not like slapstick. It does a little bit of like, not even like slapstick or like dumb jokes or like.
I mean, it does have some like. The end of the episode with the party.
Like, for me, like I don't mind if it has like a little bit of humor in there. I just like don't like it when the whole thing is literally just nothing. But I guess I'm not a big fan of like shit comedy, so like that's when it starts bothering me is more. But like if it's like a little bit here and there, that's perfectly fine. It's good to kind of mix it up a little bit. So
yeah, it has a lot of humor, but it also has a lot of like really heartfelt moments too, which is kind of nice. So it's not just like. Especially with Anzu, any scene with Anzu becomes a goddamn tearjerker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, too pure. Yeah, no, I definitely like that. It's kind of, I think when we were talking about this earlier, Trey, I think I almost described it like, it's kind of like a sitcom, more like Scrubs almost or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or How I Met Your Mother. It's more like How I Met Your Mother, and like it kind of has the characters sometimes do funny things, but it's more interested in telling the story.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like a show like the other big comedy I think we all compared it to, because I don't like that many comedies, is Konosuba, but Konosuba is more like Scrubs of like, oh hey, we have a funny thing happening. Look at our characters doing funny things.
There's very rarely a heartfelt moment in Konosuba. I think most of the heartfelt. I mean, Mother's Basement made a video talking about how terrible all the characters were, and I'm like, yes they are.
Yeah, they're
all trash people, and I love them.
Yeah. But Aqua's the best.
Shut up.
No, yeah, but so that's like what I'm saying with like Hina is like Hina, it's more watching the characters, and sometimes the thing like the situations they get themselves in. For one, they also feel more grounded.
Mm.
Like, especially, I think the bit that really got me was when Anzu was looking for a TV.
Yeah.
So,
that was a good one.
Yeah, and then shoot, I just forgot her name, and we've said it like 4 times. Middle school bartender.
Hitomi?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Hitomi like goes. I don't want to like spoil the whole bit, but she goes to like get a TV for her, and it's like shenanigans ensue. She gets in trouble. It's really funny.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Or the funeral scene, the funeral birthday scene. Just
That was pretty great. I think my favorite episode is when those other students find out that Hitomi's working at a bar, and they're trying to figure that. I think is the one I laughed at the hardest out of them.
Yeah, because also the reaction faces in that show are like
legendary.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah.
I mean, particularly I think Hitomi's reaction faces.
Yeah, Hitomi's are great. Nita's are also fantastic.
Everybody does that tongue thing, and I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either, but it's good.
Yeah, no, it works for it.
I can't think of too many other things I can really recommend. It's a genuinely funny show, and I don't watch a ton of comedies. I don't like a ton of comedies, I should say.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking away, but from what it sounds like it might be so interesting. So I might also take a look at it.
I'd recommend taking a look at it.
And like, how many? Okay, so like for me, I guess because I usually do like the 3-episode rule. Do you guys think you should give it more than 3, or is like 3 probably good?
3's probably good.
Yeah,
3's probably good. I mean, just
for this
just
one, because the first two
with
are
like a
kind
footnote
of
of like the first 2 episodes are slow.
Okay. So
yeah, the first 3 kind of set up the characters. I'd say if you watch the first couple episodes and don't.
Yeah, that's
like
fine, because that's what I usually look for. Is like I'll usually go for the first 3, and sometimes I'll give them more if someone recommends the first couple 5 episodes are slow, but it gets really good after a certain point. So I like to kind of have a baseline of where I should expect to know if I'm gonna like this or not, or if it's gonna be like this for the rest of the series, sort of thing.
I'm pretty sure 3 episodes in, I was hooked.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think 3 is a good number for that show.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I might have taken me longer, but I'm hard to please.
Oh, okay. Well, Dan, they say, as they say, everyone's a critic these days, so you're allowed to be a critic.
I mean, sometimes, yeah. But yeah, no. Any other thoughts on Hina, or?
No, let's move on. Traub, what have you been watching or playing?
You probably don't want to ask me because I haven't really been watching a whole lot. I think again, my problem was that I hit that point with a couple probably earlier this year where a lot of it was Magical Girl or school life things, and I'm not a big fan of a lot of those, so I stopped watching a lot of anime. Right. And I haven't really gotten back onto the hype train of just watching new stuff. So, but I do want to watch My Hero. I think I'm still deciding whether I want to keep going through Shokugeki, and then you guys recommended Hinamatsuri, so I'll probably look at that at least too. So
I gave up on Shokugeki.
I'm still kind of at that point where I'm still deciding whether I want to keep going with that or if I want to give up on it. So
I don't think I made it through even one season of Shokugeki.
I feel like the novelty of that show kind of wears off after not too long, for me at least.
Yeah, no, I've been more reading manga than I have been watching anime, so that's mostly what I've been doing. It was and then there's a couple of series I'll probably try to watch the anime for, maybe Overlord. I know a lot of people have recommended me that, even though I've read the manga for it.
Oh, speaking of manga, but not directly, it's an anime I watched from this season. Dan, you might know what I'm talking about if you've been watching Gaigak and Molly's Basement videos. But Planet With, it's an anime that's out this season, and it's super weird. I'm 2 episodes in.
Oh yeah, I've heard weird good things.
Yeah, but okay, so to preface this, I had never read anything by the author.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, yeah, it's Satoshi Mizukami is the author of a few really notable manga, which everyone was hyping up super hard. It's Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer and Spirit Circle are 2 of the ones that he's known for. And everyone talks about how they're the best, some of the best manga of all time, and I'm I'd never read them. So I started reading Spirit Circle after hearing about Planet With and the creator of that. And I read all of Spirit Circle in a day. It's a really good story. It's really, really good. I have very few. Most of the complaints talk about the very end. The creator they gets lost in his own fiction a little bit. But man, are the characters good, and the story is really, really good. And oh my goodness, that needs an anime right now. 10 years ago, it needed an anime. That's a really good story. But yeah, that's why I'm if the creator of that gets an anime, and that anime's Planet With, then I'm pretty excited. But yeah, 2 episodes into Planet With, though, it is the weirdest shit. That is the weirdest fucking anime I have ever. No,
is it weird in a creepy way, or weird?
I'm not sure yet. I don't know. Okay, so the first episode you're gonna be the most the second episode they explain it a little bit, but this first episode you would be so lost. The guy gets into a cat mech suit, and then these aliens keep coming in, and the aliens attacks they use. The attacks they use are they fulfill your lifelong dreams in your head.
What?
Yeah, the first time you see them, a fighter pilot flies towards it, and it gets hit by an attack, and then he goes into this weird flash forward, flash sideways thing where his fiance never died, and they get to live happily ever after, and then he just decides to stop fighting. Yeah, and all the monsters are super weird looking, and very odd. The main character has a giant person-sized bipedal cat and a maid, and they still haven't explained that very well. But again, it's weird, but after the second episode you start understanding it, and just knowing this author, I have to assume it's gonna get good because of how good Spirit Circle was. I'm currently reading Biscuit Hammer right now because that one's interesting. It's longer than this. Spirit Circle's only 40 chapters, I think, but or 70 chapters. I think it's 70 chapters actually, but Biscuit Hammer's a really long one, so I'm currently reading that. But I feel that he's good enough that I think as long as the studio doesn't clamp him down, which I don't think, considering how weird it is, I don't think that's gonna happen. As long as that doesn't happen, I think that's a one to watch out for. I guess another thing is the CGI is kind of meh.
Okay.
Like the big suit, the big mech suit things they get into are all CGI, and they're okay. They're like a 7 out of 10. So if that bothers you, then I don't know what to tell you. That's just that's something you have to get used to.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's some that I had like issues with CGI, but like I know like what was it? It's the Netflix one, but I can't remember which one it was.
Knights of Sidonia?
No, not Knights of Sidonia. It was something.
Oh, Ajin?
Yeah, Ajin. I didn't like Ajin.
Oh, yeah, Ajin was ugly. That was
Ajin was just weird. I was really sad, too, because I liked the concept behind it, because I know I read part of the manga.
Have you ever read the manga?
I read part of the manga. I never actually got caught up on it. But
okay, that shit's really good, yeah.
But, the animation on the anime, for me, was just...
No, I couldn't watch the anime, either. The anime was awful.
Yeah.
The animation was awful.
Yeah, it was just really weird. I don't know why they chose that style necessarily.
Ajin wasn't the one about the kid who, didn't have emotions, right?
No, he doesn't have emotions, but the main premise is that there's people who called Ajin who can't die.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I did watch that. I thought it was good, but maybe it's just because
the story's
I only had
good.
the anime and I didn't read the manga.
Story, just like the animation style that they chose,
it's a shame because the manga is so beautiful. Like the art in the manga is ridiculously good, and then you have the anime where the 3D animation just kind of doesn't represent it well. I think.
Yeah,
I feel like
I can agree with that. It seems like they could have done it a different way, and I would have liked it probably a little more. But
especially the Ajin shadow creatures, those do not look good in 3D. From at least in my opinion, they did not translate well.
No, which is really unfortunate because like you said, I think they could have done better with that. It just feels like they just kind of. I don't know, maybe it's some people really like that style of animation. I just was not a big fan of it, the way it looked, made everything look.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3D anime I can deal with, but there's very rare cases where the 3D doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I mean, the same thing happened this last season. I was watching Golden Kamui, and I think I told you about this, Trey, but every time an animal shows up in that show, it's this awful, god-awful CG.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and it was a fine show. It was, middling, but then whenever an animal showed up, you're just like, oh, great.
I still haven't finished that one. I've only gotten up to the, escape from being captured one.
Oh, do you want my honest opinion?
I think I heard it in the last episode.
Yeah, I was going to say, honestly, you can just kind of stop after that.
Yeah. Well,
that's the last time where I
guess I won't watch anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it still is fine. That's just the last time when I was genuinely interested in what was going on.
What about so Dan, you watch anything past week?
Yeah, I'm not watching anything new this season. I kind of feel like this season's a bit of a dry spell.
It is a little bit.
Maybe it's just things I don't like.
There's a couple things I'm watching, but I'm not super paying attention to any of them.
Yeah, I know some people... I know Cells at Work is apparently good.
That one's hilarious. I love that show. But, it's definitely a niche, though. It's not for everybody. But, but anything else, even any non-anime.
I was gonna say, I started watching an older.
Oh, yeah.
I finally got on that Space Dandy hype.
Ooh, that Space Dandy.
I need to go back and do that. So.
Yeah, Space Dandy.
Yeah, so... I don't know what the fuck that show is.
Right?
Let me lead with that. I don't know what's going on, but I love it. I like it a lot, and I don't know why, because it's not excessively funny. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. There's definitely hit and miss episodes. A lot of hit. It's either hit or miss, but it's beautiful though, even when it's not funny.
Yeah, but it looks really cool. Like you were saying. It's Studio Bones, so I mean, it's gonna look
I just
good.
like how it's Bones, kind of parodying their own work. It's remember Cowboy Bebop, guys?
Yeah.
What if we did that, but everyone was shit?
Yeah, and then it's just it's this okay, when it does the fourth wall humor, I love it, and the narrator in that show, the narrator makes a lot of these episodes for me too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's so good.
Have you gotten to the race car episode yet?
Yeah, I finished the whole first season. So the racing episode, that was weird.
I really liked the race. That was my favorite episode of that season.
Yeah, it was good. I can say that for sure. I'm trying to think of what else. The episode where he has to escort the little girl, I actually liked a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was probably the best episode of the whole season for me. Like, just that, like, it's the only episode where they have like a good heartfelt moment. But
yeah, and then I really liked the last episode of season 1 with QT and the coffee machine.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah, no, it's good. I don't know. I'm not in any rush to watch the second season.
No,
mostly because I've been
I get that.
plowing. Yeah, mostly because I've been plowing through my games backlog. But the Steam Summer Sale happened, and Gaben got my money.
I actually play like half of the games that I've played.
That's a good segue. How about we talk about the video games?
Yeah, the Steam Summer Sale happened. Like I was saying, so what games have I been playing? I picked up a few, so I can just rapid fire them. One I got was Racketeer, which was $1. And that's the one where, like, if you guys haven't played, it's like the shop simulator.
Yeah,
I've heard of it. I've never played it, but
isn't that the one that Chris has been playing that I've been hearing about? You guys both been playing that, or is that a different one?
No, Zen was playing it for a bit.
Oh, that's right. Zen was telling me about. That's right.
Yeah, no. And it's fine. It's a nice distraction game, kind of. It's nice for, like, loading screens. And then, what else did I get? I've been playing through Mass Effect Andromeda. I'll save my opinions for a later date.
Yeah, no, we can have a whole Andromeda discussion later.
Yeah, go back to BioWare. And then, this is the big boy game I got. I got a game called Valkyria Chronicles. Have you guys heard of this at all?
I
watched the first one.
I haven't played the actual game.
Yeah, I got the first one on Steam. I think it was originally, PlayStation 3?
Oh, yeah, it was a PlayStation. No, it was 3, I'm pretty sure.
I think it was 2. Or maybe it was 3.
I guess
it was 3.
Huh. But anyway.
Well,
yeah, I don't know. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the PlayStation 2 or 3. It was on the PlayStation 1.
Yep, it was actually Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Who would have known? Really ahead of its time. Yeah, it was PlayStation 3, 2008.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, it did a really good job for a while of, like, scratching that Fire Emblem XCOM itch. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, because you, like, control the units, like, XCOM style, but they have the action. Like, you move them like a third-person shooter, almost. Like, you move through fire and undercover and everything. And it's super fun. It's hard. It's a hard game. I don't know if I'm just bad at it, but it's hard.
No, I get that.
Sounds like it reminds me of, like, Company of Heroes or something similar to that sort of thing. I'm not sure if you guys have ever played any of those. Or, like, what's the other one I'm thinking of? Not Company of Heroes. But,
I don't know Company of Heroes off the top of my head.
Yeah, they're just very similar. There's a couple of games like Company of Heroes, and then crap, maybe it's Bad. No, I can't remember the other one I'm thinking of, but it was very similar. It's like it's still like a shooter, but like there's like a whole bunch of tactical. It's like a very tactical shooter. Like you do directing on like your units and like position wise stuff is really important and things like that. I can't remember off the top of my head like what I'm thinking of, but
is it XCOM?
No, it's not XCOM. I never played any XCOM games. I don't know.
Oh, you should play XCOM too. It's fun.
I think for me, like some like turn-based stuff is a little slow. That's why I don't do things like Civilization. Like I'm so used to doing like regular RTSs where it's like constant action movie stuff. So, but
I also like I don't know. I couldn't get into XCOM. I think I might just be too casual.
Oh, it's too hardcore. I get it. I understand. No, I get it. That game is fucking evil, especially towards the end.
Yeah, okay, so here's my thing with XCOM, and I was so happy that Valkyria Chronicles wasn't doing this, but then it did, kind of, but in a stupider way, is like, I loved 4/5 of XCOM 2, or like, not even more than that, like 9/10 of XCOM 2. I'd say it was a great game, but then the last level just isn't fair, and I'll hold by it. It's not, like, in the sense that, like, you can't tactically plan ahead for the things that happen.
No, I agree. Yeah. Though I will say the DLC did fix a lot of that. Mostly just because the upgrades you get for killing the assassins are really, really good, and it kind of makes it, like...
more worth it.
Worth it. And a lot of the upgrades you get from the War of the Chosen, and the new classes. There's 3 new classes that are really, really good, and they're really good at dealing with those newer threats. Also, I mean, again, I have all the DLC, and so, like, I feel like I'm kind of cheating a little bit, because, like, some of the DLC classes you get are really good, and, like, the robot, your big old robot pal, he's really good.
Yeah, I think, like I said, the big thing for me, it was just like when units would come in through a solid wall on their turn and then would get a turn of movement, and you can't plan for that.
Yeah, you can't plan for stuff like that. That's why I was saying, like, the game is extremely fun, if very unfair at times. Like, I think that's kind of the part of the appeal, though. Like, the game does not is very unforgiving a lot of the time, which is
just like to punish you for random intervals.
Yeah.
Basically.
Which is why I name all of you guys. I name all my characters after you guys, and then just see what happens.
I'm not sure that's sort of those things where you're trying to punish this Jay, and this is your outlet for anger. I mean, do you want to talk about this instead of like?
Oh, don't worry. I'm your guys' DM. I'm your guys' DM. If I want to punish you guys, you'll know it.
Good.
Well, now I know what to look forward to next session.
Yeah. But no, basically, yeah, what I was saying, that's the end game lost me in it.
Yeah.
Basically, I just didn't like the fact that, like, I had to redo the last level 3 or 4 times, and because the only way you knew that those things were coming were trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
And Valkyria Chronicles kind of did the same thing, except for it more so just kind of, instead of like playing any of the maps tactically, if you wanted to get higher than like a D+ rating on it, you had to cheese it with like 2 units and these OP orders that you could give. But you had to know exactly the right way to do it and have the exact right unit.
Yeah, that was when I was playing it, because I never beat it, but I played it for like, I'd say like 3 or 4 hours. Whereas I really enjoyed the story and I liked the gameplay for the most part. I feel like it threw a lot of systems at you and without a whole lot of explanation a lot sometimes. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but like it felt like that a lot of times where it just like throw a bunch of shit at you all at once, and then you just feel like, I don't know what any of these systems do. I don't know if I'm doing them right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they kind of did that. It's like I said, I liked a lot of it. Probably the last like quarter of the game, I was just like, this isn't tactical at all. This is like, it got to the point where I was just so frustrated from having to retry the levels that I just looked up walkthroughs on how to do the cheese strategies.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
Just to be done with the game. Because I think I told you this, Trey. If you look at my save time on the game file, it's like 30 hours. Mm-hmm. If you look at my played time on Steam, it's 49 hours.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
So like almost 15 hours of that game is me having to redo stuff.
Yeah.
And okay, the other thing for me with that kind of game, Dan, is it like grindy, or is it like?
No, it's not grindy.
Okay.
It's not grindy at all, because it's all the battles are like scenarios. You can grind if you want your units to be stronger. I really didn't have to do it too much.
Okay.
Unless you want to do the cheese strats, and then you have to grind up. But there's actually an exploit that you can use to get grinding by using the cheese strats.
Okay.
So it was just like, for me, it kind of like lost the whole tactical aspect.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like games that like they don't force you to, but like Banner Saga was like this for me, where like the game is just so unrelenting that it felt like I wasn't really playing the game so much as just kind of reacting to the bullshit the game would make me do.
Mm. Yeah.
Like, Banner Saga is a great game, but man, I can't beat it. It is too hard. I'm just not a smart enough person to play that game.
Jeez, it sounds like I might have a hard time with that one too when I eventually get around to it.
Oh, Banner Saga? It's just, I love the art style so much. It is such a gorgeous game, but man, like, I just cannot, the game is so hard. I think it's way too hard. At least, like, total opinion, but like, everybody I know who's ever played it has said the same thing, that game is just absurd. It's stupid hard.
Like, is it just like stupid hard for no reason, or like?
Yeah, it feels like a little bit. Where like things hit really hard, and like you do less damage the lower your health is. So like, you can get into situations where you're just like, well, I can't do anything now because that guy just hit me for half my health, and I do no damage now. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a really cool premise and a really cool story, and a gorgeous game. That game is one of the prettiest games I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. But it is like, I almost recommend people just look up a walkthrough, because look up a Let's Play or something, because that game is so hard. Mm. Or maybe I'm just bad at RTS. That could just be it too. Like, or sorry, turn-based strategy. Like, that could just be it too. But like, I don't know, man. It's really hard.
I'll be honest. The main reason I picked that game up is because the music was composed by Austin Wintory. So
yeah. Like I said, the game's got a lot of things going on. Banner Saga 3 just came out, so
I was gonna say they have 3 of them now, so it's apparently been popular enough for them to make popular.
It's a popular game. 3 was kickstarted even. Like they weren't gonna make a 3 until it got kickstarted. So like it's a popular game, popular series. I wish it wasn't as hard as it is.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give it another try. It was years ago when I played it, but
yeah, so it sounds like you're kind of there for you're there for the ambiance of the game, but not the challenge of it. And the problem is that there's no way of playing the game.
Yeah, I wish there was an easy baby mode for babies I could just play. And then
because like you want to give the music, the art, the gameplay, the actual the story and stuff like that. But if it takes this long to get through it because it's this challenging, there's no.
Yeah, like I don't want to run myself into a brick wall just for a story. Like.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be a special game for if you do that. I mean, like, Dark Souls, maybe, but...
Okay, well, if you're getting into Dark Souls, you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, and Dark Souls isn't even that hard. I thought Banner Saga is way harder than Dark Souls.
Yeah, but I mean, Dark Souls literally is a game where you're expecting to go in to, like, kind of try hard at certain things and know that you're
you're gonna die a lot. That's kind of, like, the whole point. But the game isn't... You're always making progress. It's almost like a Metroidvania in some respects, where you're just, like, you're always making progress and you're always getting stronger, so eventually you can just kind of brute force your way through some problems. But talking about summer sale stuff though, I bought this is a game I've already played, but I hadn't played the definitive edition of Ori and the Blind Forest.
Okay. I know, are they getting a new one coming out?
Yeah, Ori 2's coming out next year, I think.
Yeah, okay, that's right. I remember seeing it on E3, like a thing.
Yeah, that game, it looks so good. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Ori 2. That's part of the reason I bought the definitive edition. And I will say, there are some big old problems I have with that game second playthrough. I've already beat the first one once, and second playthrough is... the boss battles, quote unquote, because like in the game there aren't really any boss fights in the game. Like the dungeons you go to, they'll introduce a new concept. Like the first dungeon, you get an ability that lets you like dash off enemy projectiles or some floating objects. Like you can just you basically grab onto them and launch yourself off of them.
Okay.
And you can also redirect the projectiles because it's really cool. It's a really, really cool, very unique system where you basically jump on something that would hurt you and you grab it and you can toss it back at the thing that threw it, or you can use it to gain more height. Very cool dungeon. I loved everything about it. And then the end of the dungeon is a big ol' escape thing. You have to escape. You're in this big tree. You have to escape this big tree as it's being flooded with water. And it is so frustrating. Because
you have to basically be masterful of the mechanics by this point.
Yeah, you have to do all the mechanics that they've taught you at that point and on a timer. And if you do things too slowly, you instantly die. And the big catch is you have to start the whole thing over again if you die. There are no save points because the game in the game you make your own checkpoints. Like if you have energy, you can hold down one of the buttons and you can set your own save point.
Yeah.
And in this part, because it's a dangerous area, there's no place to save. So if you die, it just immediately sends you back to the beginning of the escape section. And these things can last for several minutes. So you're doing all these crazy acrobatics because it's not making you do easy stuff. You have to do difficult things. Hell, even people in the speedrun had trouble with it in some of these areas. So you're just kind of that is something. If Ori 2, please don't I don't hate the idea of that, but please at least have some checkpoints in it. So
it makes it so it's not as punishing if you screw up once or twice.
Also, a problem I had that is still a problem that I'm hoping. I don't know if they'll be able to fix it, but there are too many particles on screen for the combat to make sense.
Oh, it's like a bullet hell sort of without being a bullet hell.
Not really. It's not a bullet hell in the sense that you're thinking. It's a bullet hell in the fact that it's too pretty. It's so pretty. They have so many miscellaneous non-lethal particles that sometimes you can completely miss the enemy projectiles. Especially because Ori's main attack, you have this little fairy that follows you around, and the fairy shoots energy beams that can actually like be bigger than the enemy projectiles. So you're like shooting these energy beams that are locked on while these projectiles are trying to come at you. And so a lot of times I'm just like, I can't see the enemy projectiles. Some of these are really small. I don't know. Like, I'm hoping that one I do think they could fix just by making the enemy projectiles a little more noticeable. So I'm not just like hitting things I don't think I should have hit, or like some things I wish I would have known were coming at me, I guess is a better thing to say.
Okay. Yeah.
Still, great game, fantastic game. Everybody should play it if you like Metroidvania games.
Good
game is gorgeous. The soundtrack. Oh my god, that soundtrack. Jesus.
It's all around a beautiful game.
Fantastic game. The beginning part will make you cry. I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed my entire run through of it. I'm enjoying my second playthrough of it. I have some small gripes. These are like minimal gripes, except for the fucking boss battle thing. I think that's a fairly major gripe. I
remember getting really annoyed at that as well.
Yeah. Like, you can get stuck on those for a long time. The vast majority of my deaths are from those because I have a death tracker.
Just let you know what you're getting known by.
Yeah.
It does sound... Yeah.
Luckily, the respawn time is instant. Like, you immediately respawn, so it's not like you're waiting on a load screen or anything.
That's true.
Okay.
Even the music continues, I noticed. Like, if you're in those sections, the music literally doesn't stop while you're doing it, no matter how many times you die. So you get this really good sense of momentum, like, the whole way through. Even if it's frustrating, you don't feel like you feel like you're not losing time in that sense. It doesn't feel like a random
lull in the action for the game, because it seems
like everything's still in motion. You instantly respawn and you keep going, and it's just overly punishing in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to like save and restart the whole final level again.
Yeah. But Tyler, you been playing any games?
Not a ton recently. I did just start playing Death of the Outsider, which is the...
Oh, that's the Dishonored.
Yeah, Dishonored,
DLC, right? Yeah.
Kind of after Dishonored 2 it takes place. And it's been enjoyable. It's been basically just more Dishonored. Just played as a different character this time. And some of the systems work just slightly differently. But one thing that since you just mentioned the saving and loading, one thing I've never really loved about the Dishonored games is that I typically try to ghost my way through the game, so...
Oh, you go for like the pure stealth, right?
I go through pure stealth and no kills.
Okay. See, you're the literal opposite of me in those kinds of games.
Yeah,
you should have seen me play Deus Ex Human Revolution. I was a goddamn fucking blender in that game. I just hulked out on everybody I met. So I have this philosophy in stealth games where they can't see me if there's no one around to see me.
Yeah. I will say, though, in the first Dishonored game, like, playing around with the rat swarm, that was fun.
Yeah.
Going the chaotic route, I guess, through the game. And
I've never actually played Dishonored 1 or 2.
They're good games.
Yeah, I've heard.
Particularly the first one's really good. I thought the second was pretty good, too. In particular, there were, like, a couple levels in 2 that were really, really well designed. Basically one of those levels, I'll just say a little bit about them. One of those levels is a giant mechanical house.
That's cool.
So as you're going through it, the house can, like, kind of change shape, and it's really interesting to navigate an environment where the environment can kind of change, and in fact you have to alter the environment to get through it.
That's cool.
While also trying to remain stealthy and avoid detection, at least if you're me.
Not if you're me. I'm sure the level would be very different if I played it.
Probably.
I'd be like the Doom guy just running around.
Yeah.
Kicking indoors.
Just ending people.
Holding the trigger down, seeing how many things you can kill.
See, that's kind of the reason I don't play, because I know there's like a better ending if you don't do that, but I'm like the worst person of all time at stealth games. I can't stealth to save my life.
Yeah. I do love stealth games. I always do the never be seen run through, which means I do a lot of saving and loading.
I have a lot of friends who are like that, who would really enjoy going like the no scene stealth games. I'm just not good at them at all. So
yeah.
No, I'm not good at games. When I don't like when you just use stealth as if it's like an RTS sort of thing or like an oversight thing, like a top-down sort of stealth game. Like that just bothers me because I feel like a lot of that's just like your timing sort of thing. It's just your waiting rather than actually like trying to be sneaky and you have to like constantly watch your corners and stuff like that. Like it's a whole different really feeling to that and stealth experience.
Yeah, the only game I ever could stealth okay, and I think that's less of the me being good at stealth and more of Naughty Dog just kind of letting me get away with things was The Last of Us.
Oh yeah.
Like I was able to stealth my way sometimes, but I didn't feel like I accomplished anything. It was more just Naughty Dog's AI just kind of let me do that.
Yeah,
I feel like the stealth elements were relatively minor in that game. It
very
felt like
kind of
a just thrown in system.
I really need to play it. I've heard so many.
If I can beat that game in hard, then you know the stealth is not that important.
Noted.
I can't play the Metal Gear Solid games, most of them, because I just can't. I'm not good enough at stealth. I get killed
all the
too
Splinter
much.
Cell games, Jay.
Oh no! I played one Splinter Cell game. I returned it. I bought it for Xbox 360, and then I returned it because I hated it because I kept getting spotted by everything.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm the kind of gamer who likes to just shoot things, man. Like I get bored by. My problem is I have a too short of an attention span, so like. I just get bored and then I take risks and then the risks never work out and then I just end up killing everybody anyway.
Yeah, I get that part.
I even just like get there if I've had to repeat the same thing like 3 or 4 times and it hasn't worked out. I'm just like, all right, is there just a way I can just like run through this shit and make it work? Because like I'm not sneaking past this again. Like I definitely get to those points, especially like if it's a really tough challenge to sneak through.
So I always have a tough time with this. Like, so it was Deus Ex. Like, you get a worse ending if you kill people, but man, I couldn't help it. Like, non-lethal ammo is really hard to come by, so like it almost forces you to be stealthy.
Yeah, and I just ran all these resources that I could actually, make it so they didn't die. So I just had to kind of kill all of them.
So I just started killing all of them.
Yeah, that's actually
my bullets will heal you for negative damage.
Like, what kind of gaming philosophy is that when killing people is the easy option?
I mean, it's kind of like the same idea as a health food tray. It's a lot more expensive to buy healthy food, so why would you eat
exactly?
Healthy?
So it's way
shitty,
it's way easier to find all these assault rifle bullets in the middle of the town.
Yeah. But yeah, just a little more about that. What you brought up just kind of actually brought me to another point that I was going to mention about Death of the Outsider, which is the skill tree in that game is a lot smaller than it is in Dishonored 2. And actually, I think Dishonored 1 game as well. In fact, it's probably because it's a shorter game. Also, you don't really level up the skill tree, you just kind of get skills. And part of my issue with the game right now is that it seems like everything I receive is more focused on like damage stuff and like actually killing enemies and not so much the actual like stealth part. So if you're trying to ghost your way through the game like I am, there's basically the game is like, oh no, well here's all these things to kill people with. Don't you want to do that? And I'm like, no, I want to stealth.
You have my attention.
But when you're receiving all these like talismans in the game, because talismans are the main way you kind of level up in this particular one, it seems like all of them are things like, oh, deal more damage or take less damage from this or whatever. And it's like, well, I'm never going to be seen, so these are going to be pointless to me.
Sounds like they made a game for me.
Maybe. The abilities they actually give you, though,
deal more damage, you say.
The few like activated abilities that they give you, those ones are a little more stealth based, but then they also give you all the gadgets and stuff, which are way more like just take everybody out, like traps and weapons and things like that. So I don't know. I'm kind of. It's definitely a shorter one, and I mean, it was less expensive too. So, but I'm enjoying it just because it's more Dishonored.
You can buy that standalone, correct? Like you don't have to own Dishonored 2. Yeah, I heard it was like a
mm-hmm.
standalone property.
Yeah.
Do you miss out on anything like the story of it without playing the other games?
It continues on from it, and it actually kind of tries to deal a little bit with the fact that there could be multiple outcomes depending on the routes you took through the games.
I mean, you can literally be different main characters in 2, so
yeah.
Have fun, but have fun trying to figure that one out. Was it Bethesda made that game? Who made that game?
Bethesda published
it. They published
I don't
it.
know who actually. I'm trying to remember who made it. But I don't think it was a core Bethesda studio that.
But either way, joke's on you, developers trying to make a choice-based game.
Yeah,
trying to have some sort of continuity for a choice-based game.
They didn't even give you that in this. And the other part is they give you contracts in this game, but a lot of the contracts just like want you to straight up murder people, and I'm like, well, this completely defeats my run through. Like, and apparently they don't have an achievement in this game.
Like, maybe put him to sleep, or we can talk it out or something like that.
Yeah.
Can I give him a strongly worded letter instead?
Each previous Dishonored game had an achievement for making it through the game with 0 kills and never being seen. And this game just decided, nah, let's not give you that. Like, let's not make that a goal anymore. Let's just try to convince you to kill people. And I'm like,
Tyler, it's called Death of an Outsider. You're gonna kill a man. The outsider. You're gonna kill a man. You have to.
Or is this like Death of a Salesman and nobody actually dies? Or does somebody die in Death of a Salesman?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You think I know classical literature?
I
don't. You think I read? Readings for nerds. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. Traub, have you at any point started that Last Hope? Star Ocean Last Hope?
No, I really should. I have it installed. I just keep forgetting.
I played a good portion.
Have you played Last Hope? Okay, yeah.
I've beaten it before. I beat it for PS3.
Did you beat it? I don't
day.
know how far I am into the game. I'm at I feel like there's a lot of stuff that could still happen around the map.
Where are you? Because that game is like the longest game of all time.
Is it?
If you
okay, I'm probably
only like a Star Ocean game in general. Those games are long.
I figured it was long.
It never ends. The game doesn't actually you. And I got the worst ending too when I first played it, and I didn't realize until I just got this new game they even had other endings.
Wait, there's multiple endings?
Yep.
Where are their choices? I don't get
this path. What path did I choose?
It's literally just who do you make sleep in the same room?
Oh, really?
With a lot, yeah. Or like if you get affinity with people while you do like the on-ship little skits.
That is interesting.
But to get the best ending, you have to do some weirdo shit, some weird Japan shit.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know if it's a spoiler. The game's old as fuck. But to get the best ending, you have to make sure that FaZe and Limmel sleep in the same room.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, God. Oh, no. That's not good.
Tyler, it's fine. She's 16.
Oh, God.
Wait, Limmel?
Oh, it's one of those.
Wait, she's 16, Tyler.
Wait, Limmel's 16?
Yeah.
I thought she was like 9.
This is starting to sound worse. No. I'm a little terrified now.
Yeah, I know. No, you have to read her bio. She's older than she looked. Her magic made her look like a toddler, and she also talks and acts like a toddler.
God.
You know what they say.
But she's actually.
Hey, guess what? I'm 16. K.
You're talking to a man who watched all of Air Manga Sensei.
Do I have a game for you? It's called Star Ocean Last Hope.
Oh, God. You know, actually, I'm thinking about now. I think I have played this game before. It's just been a really long time.
Oh, okay, does the phrase moonworm mean anything to you?
You know, the sad part is, enough games as I've played, that probably means multiple things to me, actually, I think.
Okay, well, I was gonna say, then you would know that you'd know a thing that happened, the stuff.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, well,
basically, the last thing that happened when I played this game...
I'm getting more and more...
The last thing that happened when I played this game was 40 minutes straight of cutscene.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. You told me about it. We were waiting for you to get on.
I was trying to play a game with
what
Dan
happened?
over here.
Enlighten me. I want to know.
A space dragon.
No!
What the fuck is this game?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do.
Oh god.
Oh boy. Man, this is just... I'm beginning to feel like I'm in for a nice long game when I start playing this, man.
I love the game. It has a really fun combat system.
I feel like I love the combat system. I love
the combat system is so good.
Ocean games, or is it like?
It's similar. It has a really cool combo system that I really, really enjoyed using.
I haven't messed with the combo system much, but I really like the dodge thing that you can do.
Yeah, the dodge system they have is really cool. All the characters are fun to play except for Mech Guy. I hate him. And
I don't use him much.
And any caster. Don't play casters; those are boring. Okay. But all the other characters are fun to play.
You want them in your party, but you don't.
They're not fun to play.
Now, like most JRPGs, if you're playing a caster, most of the time it's just them saying they're channeling a spell, and then you wait.
Yeah, it is channeling spells a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of a boring play style.
But if you're playing a melee hero, it's really fun. That game is really, really fun to play as melee. Like the cat girl, she's really fun to play.
Yeah. Honestly,
even if her outfit's ridiculous, even if everything about her is ridiculous.
I mean, the words "cat girl" generally mean that change. But
it just gets so weird when you mean her.
Oh god.
Yeah. She plays an ocarina.
She plays an ocarina. I just love how they have a planet full of beast people. You don't meet her there.
Nope.
You meet her on Earth.
And not like Earth. Well, never mind. I
don't want to.
Why is she there? The more and more you guys talk about this, the more and more terrified I am to play this game now.
It's a good game. It's a fun game.
I was gonna say we could probably delve into this game for another 2 years.
I feel like scientists will uncover this game a century from now, and they'll call us all degenerates, and they'll probably be right.
Yeah.
They'll be like, no, obviously the people from our past are into some weirdo shit.
I mean, they're not entirely wrong.
They aren't wrong.
I think they're gonna, if they run into this podcast, I think they're gonna think the same thing. So
yeah.
Oh my goodness! Like I said, I genuinely enjoy that game, but that game is the fucking worst in so many ways.
The thing I really hate about it are those freaking shadow creatures. Because they don't take damage. They just don't take damage. And every time you hit them, it seems like you get a twice as powerful version of them, which is where I'm getting stuck right now. I literally jump off a cliff and then it's like, oh, you're dead. First battle, you're dead. Just instant death. Because you can't do anything against these guys unless you get crit hits. And then they just kill all your casters, and then it's just a matter of time at that point until you die.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things where you have to get really into the item system, because that game has, and this is something, again, I didn't know this the first run through, this game has the most fucking complex item system of all time.
Oh, really?
And fucking bunny racing. I didn't know this game had bunny racing. Yeah, it has bunny racing. I didn't know that. You have to go back to the fucking Beast Planet, Tyler. It's under the arena, Tyler. Did you know this? I didn't know this.
Wait, there's something under the arena?
Yeah, it's bunny racing, Tyler.
Last time I went to the arena, they were like, no, you can't come in.
You race bunnies, Tyler. There's bunnies there. This game will drive you insane. It is the craziest game.
And by little, I mean a lot.
Yeah, I just need to figure things out. It was also forever until I discovered you could do a double dodge. I had no idea, and it would have saved me so much freaking hassle early on if I had known it. If the game had just taught me a system in it.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to go on that tangent. That game just gives me a hernia. It is a beautiful. It's the most beautiful mess Japan has ever made.
It really is pretty. Yeah, it's that a beautiful mess.
This is exactly what we were all asking for. Exactly.
I wasn't asking for this.
I don't think
but
anybody
I'm glad I did it.
Man.
Well then.
Anyway, I guess are we ending the show?
I think that's about it. I don't know what we can do to follow that up.
I'm not sure.
We talked about the good things Japan gave us, and then that sounds like a good thing. But I got nothing after that, man.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, but anyway, thanks for coming, Tyler and Dan.
Thanks for stopping by.
I'm glad we shared this experience.
Glad I finally made it.
Only for the next few things that I'm going to be in taking from this, but it's all right.
No. I think you need to play it, Traub. You need to play this game.
Okay, it's just one more thing I can tell my psychiatrist one day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They'll do the analysis. Hey, when did Traub finally snap? Oh, there it is.
They'll have that late night TV special. Yeah. It's like, when did you know he lost all faith in humanity?
Right here.
Space Dragon.
Yup. Oh, goodness. No, that wasn't even the cutscene, though, Dan. That wasn't even the cutscene I was talking about.
Huh.
There was multiple
from here.
There was multiple 20-minute plus cutscenes in that game. It is just and you just get stuck in it and you're like, I need to go do stuff, and the game is like, well, you're watching a cutscene.
It's like it's like, I hope you had time.
I hope you had time because there was no indication that this was coming.
Surprise! But anyway.
I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, I'll see y'all. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, thanks for joining us on this degeneracy.
Bye bye.
Thanks for randomly having me because I was just happened to be here.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Bye.